Konami has released 3 new Showtime players and everybody gets to pick one for free. Now if you aren't sure who to get or if you're looking for a build, skills and booster for your player, this video might be for you. Here comes Pepe. Welcome everybody! Let's start with Madrid's young Endrick. He's a deep lying forward, so don't believe anything he says ever. I'm sorry. We go with 8 points in shooting, getting him 92 finishing with all boosters on top. No points in passing because he's pretty bad at it and forever will be. Sorry Endrick. 9 points in dribbling are just enough to get the +3 manager boost in dribbling. 92 ball control is also pretty nice for a free card. 10 points in dexterity are in my opinion the bare minimum, because it gets you both the +3 manager boost for offensive awareness and balance. 2 stats that are really useful for strikers. 9 points in lower body strength are also a very good sweet spot as we get the +3 boost for speed and stamina here. We will also end up with 94 kicking power, which is super nice. About his skills, I would absolutely give him through passing, long range curler, one touch pass, and if you use it, double touch. The last skill is up to you. You could choose outside curler if you want, flip flap if you want to unlock the special double touch animation, or anything else you feel like adding. For the booster, I would take Striker's Instinct. You could also take shooting if you want, like if you get it in a random booster, just keep it, but I feel like Striker's Instinct might be doing more for him. The second player is a phenomenal passing box-to-box central midfielder, Zaire-Emery, and I hereby officially apologize to all French-speaking people for this pronunciation. The first build is slightly leaning more towards an offensive approach. 4 points in shooting because as a box-to-box player, unless he has a very defensive role within the team, he will inevitably get to finish at some point. While his finishing is too bad to really invest more into it, we do give him the first 4 points because these are most efficient. Also 4 points in passing. I would have loved to give him 5 to get the +3 manager boost for low pass, but he just needs the points everywhere else so badly, and 88 passing along with phenomenal passing and through passing should be enough. If you really want this boost, take off a point in defending for it. 9 points in dribbling gets us the +3 manager boost for ball control and quite solid other dribbling stats. 9 points in dexterity for the +3 manager boost for acceleration and balance, getting them both close to 90. 7 points in lower body strength to give him some speed and stamina. No points in aerial, but 6 points in defending, since even as a not defensively minded midfielder, he will have some defensive work to do. For a more defensive build, I went with no points in shooting. 3 points in passing is 1 point less than before, but shouldn't really make a difference. 6 points in dribbling, a bit less than before, since if he's more defensively, he wants to pass the ball earlier anyway, preferably to somebody who does have a more offensive role within the team. I think you could go down to 4 here if you wanted and needed the points somewhere else. 9 points in dexterity just like before, +3 manager boost for acceleration and balance. 10 points in lower body strength this time, letting us reach the +3 manager boost here as well at speed, which will make it easier for him to pressure opponents, especially when charging back or to the side over longer distances. No points in aerial strength, but 8 points in defending, as we want him to be a bit more defensive this time. As for skills, the one I'd absolutely give him would be through passing. From there on, you have a lot of options. If you want to go more offensively, you probably want long range curler and possibly also first time shot, depending on how often he would need it in your formation. If you want him to be better defensively, you could give him blocker or even man marking. Soul control and flip flap is an option if you want the special double touch animation. You could also give him track back if you like. For the booster, I'd give him ball carrying for offensive builds and shutdown for defensive builds. But honestly, as a central midfielder box to box player, there are a lot of boosters that are alright for him, so even if you lose the random booster lottery, which we all do almost every time, odds are there are some stats included that will be useful for him. Last but not least, bullet header Nunez. Now he's a striker with strong aerial features, so you probably want to invest in these because if you make him sort of a regular striker, you might as well just play someone else. There is this manual shooting 5 at the back cross spam formation going on right now. Not sure, but I think Met Nassar and Durbe came up with it, so credits to them. If if you don't have any bullet header but want one for it, or if you're just generally someone who likes to cross a lot, Nunez might be your man. The first build really is a fully aerial build, almost. 8 in shooting, because imagine the header is actually saved but bounces back on the ground. Then you need to use your feet and can't just dive forward into the ball, right? Just kidding. 8 points in shooting, since as a striker you also need to be able to score with your feet, especially if Konami would decide to nerf crosses. No points in passing, he's just too bad at it for it to make sense, similar to Endrick before. 5 points in dribbling to make him a bit better at controlling the ball, still far from good, but at least not terrible anymore. 8 points in dexterity for good acceleration and offensive awareness. 6 in lower body strength for the speed and kicking power and the +3 manager boost in stamina. 12 points in aerial to make him great at physical combat on the ground, make him hard to be pushed away, and of course to make him amazing at aerial duels. The next build is if you don't want to go full aerial on him. 10 points in shooting for the +3 manager boost here, 2 points more than before. No points in passing this time either. 8 points in dribbling, since we're not going full aerial here. It might be good to do this for him to be able to act as a sort of target man who gets the ball, keeps it for a step or two, turns a little, and then looks for a teammate and starts his final run. 5 in dexterity. We're on the lower end here, but it's still enough for the +3 manager boost. 6 points in lower body strength, just like before, decent speed and kicking power, and the +3 boost for stamina. The third build is an alternative build in case you want to use him like a regular bulky forward. In my opinion, you probably shouldn't be doing this because odds are you have other players on your squad who fill this role a lot better. But since I'm pretty sure some players will want this regardless, here you are. Basically, it's less aerial, more focus on dribbling and speed, and striker's instinct instead of the aerial booster. As for skills, I would absolutely give him acrobatic finishing, one-touch pass, and through passing. For the last two, it's really up to you. You could go for soul control and flip-flap if you want the special double touch. Outside curler is also an option, anything you like. Because of his high defensive engagement and aggression, you could even go for track back. Although keep in mind that if you use a formation where you have counter target on your strikers, track back might not be as useful. For the booster, I'd go for aerial. Unless you really want to play him as sort of a regular striker, then you could also take striker's instinct. What I really wonder is whether some people will actually try this here, the full aerial build. Now the big question, who should you take? To be fair, take whoever you want. Yeah, that helped a lot, didn't it? Like, none of these cards are real game changers. You should probably make it dependent on how you play and what your team currently has. Stat-wise, Endrick is like your regular meta striker. Fast, good dribbling and finishing, as well as awareness and balance. If you have no card like this, he could be your man. But here's the thing, real talk, if you have no card like this and Endrick would be your man, then you absolutely want to choose David Villa from the Epic pack, who is on a whole different level than Endrick. He would also be able to play the Spanish League events for you. Phenomenal finishing is good and everything, but I take Villa without it over Endrick with it any day. It's like you give a regular guy a sword of a true mastersmith, but he's still gonna lose if the other guy is a fully trained, well-equipped knight, even if he has a slightly inferior sword. Not sure how accurate this analogy was, so what about Zaire-Emery? I'll probably take him. Now in terms of stats, he isn't really special either, but he can play the national event for me since I usually pick France there, and I think I could use him for this. Perhaps even as a starter, depending on how he performs and the form arrows. If this applies to you as well, maybe he's your man too. I'm not sure what else to say about him, to be honest. About Nunez, as I said before, you might want to pick him if you like to cross. I don't like crossing, never did. I prefer leaving the ball on the ground. The only reason why I'm still low-key considering him a little bit is because I have no real bullet header aerial threat. If you want to get him, keep in mind you need a player to deliver the crosses as well, preferably one with edge crossing, which by the way I don't have either. So the good thing is, the choice might not be easy, but none of these cards are really game changing. I'd even say many players have way better cards in their squads already. Of course, you could also always just choose whichever player you like more here. If any of them was a Bayern player, I'd probably consider it too. Hope that was at least a little help for you. That's it folks, let me know if you liked this video. I'd love if you subscribed, liked or commented. Until then guys, take it easy. Shaka!